flag anyway from the back. So I think we've decided that's good enough. 5-second board is shown.
There's a driver at the back still with the door open.
Well, it better get it closed pretty quickly because the red lights are about to go on. There they are. And they go out, and away we go. The race gets underway. A pretty even start between the two front row men. Some slightly more tardy starts a little bit further back, but it's the 63 car of Phil Wright on the inside line, and he gets into the lead. The car coming through from the second row, which may have been Jamie Martin, also trying to squeeze through on the inside as well. But as we saw in the Type R Trophy race, the pole position here is not necessarily where you want to be. It's the 14 car, in fact, that's there into second place. So Alistair Camp has lost out a bit at the beginning of this race. We'll see if he can get back into it as Adam Shepherd did so effectively before the end of the first lap of the Type R Trophy. But as they head down the Hanger Straight for the first time, it looks like it's the Philip Wright car that is leading the way.
Yeah, there should be plenty of jostling behind, but at the moment out front there's a train of 6 or 7 cars with that Mark II Golf, bottom right hand corner of your screen, bringing up its rear. Down the inside, the 79 Metro of Jack Ashton bores inside the 1, 2, 3. The big Clio. The sheer size difference between those cars is quite amazing. And cars these days have got bigger and chubbier, haven't they? And into the tight right at the tight left at Vale before the right, the Clio has clawed its way back ahead of the Metro.
End of the first lap of the race then. So Alistair Camp has got back up into second position ahead of number 16 Chris Smith, but it's still Phil Wright, who won the last round of the championship at Brands Hatch 6 or 7 weeks ago, that leads the way then. So Camp has a bit of work to do here. 16 in third place. Fourth is the number 36 car of Ryan Polly. Now he's made a very good start because he was only 8th on the grid. So Ryan Polly, the Clio champion, has moved up the order as well. You can see his car with sort of one headlamp cover blacked out there. He's in 4th place. 5th place is number 2 Jamie Martin. Oh, there's been a contretemps a bit further back, and I think everyone's escaped from that. It involved the number 20 car though. That's Martin Paget's Saxo. He's back into the race, one of the Class C drivers.
As if nothing had happened.
And there we're going to get a change for 3rd place. That's Ryan Polly up the inside of Chris Smith there for 3rd position. Smith with the wing on the back of his car. Ryan Polly with no such aerodynamic accompaniments. He is still there in 4th for the moment.
You do wonder whether that wing is going to make a lot of difference. Maybe it takes something off the straight line speed for two very similarly powered and similarly configured cars. But here they come through. We've got 2 for the lead and 4 in the chase pack. That Integra running in 6th place.
Yeah, that's 65 Ben Morton. Behind him you could see in the background the number 68 car of Dan Gibbs in that Golf. Class B leading Golf up to 7th place overall, so he's made up 3 places already during the course of this race. We've had 4 minutes of it already. Best lap of the race so far by Philip Wright, a 1:16.6, which is already underneath the lap record. So a new lap record for Philip Wright. These cars were effectively Class B cars last year. They're now Class A cars, but 1:16.6 for Phil Wright on the first flying lap of the race. But he's going to have to contend with Alistair Camp here, who was just under a second behind at the end of lap 2, and I think he's a bit closer.
Yeah, do you think Wright's confidence has been boosted by that win last time out at Brands Hatch?
I think there's a very good chance that it will, especially having come on the back of 6 straight defeats to Alistair Camp, because it's given him the encouragement that he can do it. It's just a shame that then it's been 6 or 7 weeks since that round, so he's not been able to keep up the momentum really. There's Smith still there in 3rd, and 4th is still Polly. We've got Jamie Martin in the newer shape Civic in 5th, and the Integra of Ben Morton in 6th place, which is a bit of variety. 6 Hondas though inside the first 6 places. Dan Gibbs still leading Class B, and David Drinkwater, I can tell you, is ahead in Class C in 18th position overall in the number 1 BMW Compact. But Ryan Polly this time has lost a bit of ground to the red car of Chris Smith.
Yeah, and I think I noticed there that some progress being made by that other Integra, which was Window, wasn't it, from down the order. It's up to 17th place.
Well, that's incredible progress. Yes, from right at the back of the grid. He's made up a shed load of places in that number 82 car on his 750 Motor Club comeback. There's that 20 car, which is the one that spun sort of early on in the race, the Saxo. Where is that running at the moment? I'm going to scroll a long way down to 32nd position. Martin Paget. We've got 37 cars circulating, so it did look like a few perhaps didn't make the start. He's doing battle with the number 17 Kate Yates Renault Clio at the moment, but that's for 31st and 32nd position. Looks like the GMP, that's one of Gary Parks, I think, will be running that car. And there's the 28 BMW, that is the car of Olivia Martin, so second behind David Drinkwater on the grid within that class. And is that still the case during the course of the race? Yes, she is. She's about half a second or so behind David Drinkwater. There is the 97 Metro, which is that of Andrew Ashton, the older brother of Jack.
That's the old Lions made blackberry and apple ice cream livery.
And he's chasing after another of the Golfs as well. And
yeah, Golf 2, isn't it?
That's the 99 car of Alex Harris.
Yeah, the JP Audio Visual car. And Saxo having a good old tussle there. Number 19 hung out on the outside. They've got yes, they've got the different class demarcations on the backs of the cars as well. B and C there. Yeah,
and you can also, I think, tell by the sun strips as well. Blue one is a Class C car, green one a Class B car. Over towards Village they go then. That's the 175 car at the head of that little group. That's Jerry Frost's Mini Cooper. So there is quite a lot of variety on this hot hatch grid, it would seem, this season. Oh, and up the inside there goes the Mini to make up a place. There goes the Saxo, I should say, to make up a place. But that's he's well down the order, that battle. It is for 34th, 35th and 36th, and it's Jared Coulson. So it's Alex Martin that's making up a move there. So down to Stowe Corner they go. Mini, Renault and Citroën, with half of the race still to go. Novice Cross, you can see on the back of two out of those three of those cars. And it's good to see a lot of newcomers into the Hot Hatch Championship this season. There's the 14 Clio just locking up there, Jared Coulson. He's lost out again to Alex Martin and he's trying to make a move there. There's the number 1 car, that's the reigning champion, that's David Drinkwater. And he's still leading Class C, and he is in 20th position overall. And it looks like he's got about 3 seconds in hand now over Olivia Martin within that class.
58 Paul Jarvis there, got really crossed up coming out onto the straight, just kept his boot in that little Saxo, going really well. The 58 car now in our screens with Drinkwater on his tail.
Yeah, Jarvis in a Class A car though, and Drinkwater in a Class C car, so shows how well David Drinkwater's doing. Paul Jarvis is no mug. He's a former stock hatch, I think he was a champion, certainly a front runner. Multiple race winner in the sort of final years of the Stock Hatch Championship. Had a break for a few seasons, has come back. There's Olivia Martin just outside the top 20, so she is second in Class C.
And she's got a clear view of Drinkwater, who's leading it.
Yeah, she has, so can she make a move there? This is for the lead though. This is Philip Wright, he's still out there in the lead, and his gap has gone out now to 1.86 seconds over Alistair Camp. And still Chris Smith in third. He's pulled well clear now of Ryan Polly, with Jamie Martin still fifth and Ben Moulton sixth. But I'm a little bit surprised here that Alistair Camp hasn't been able to make more of this and close in on Phil Wright. It looked at one point as if he might be about to do so, but in fact it's gone the other way. The gap has gone up to nearly 2 seconds, so it's difficult to see Alistair Camp coming back from this with about 6 minutes of the race to go.
Camp in the area motorsport car there, coming out of club. But here is the leader, 63 right. There's Camp in second place. It's great graphics on that car, quite busy, isn't it? It's, quite a lot of people contributing to that effort.
Yeah, certainly all of them getting an entry. I think Camp is construction. It's probably his own business as well. He's I think from memory, a builder by occupation. So that's Alistair Camp, who's having a good season in Hot Hatch. He's racing elsewhere as well this year.
He raced Fiestas before, didn't he?
He did, alongside Tom Bell,
yeah.
who also raced really quick Fiestas in the early days of Hot Hatch.
Don't say glue, say yoo-hoo, as the advert slogan used to go. For the adhesive.
Absolutely. Right, that's Stephen Langton's car.
The smell of bananas.
Yes, absolutely. And he's just ahead of number 7, Cameron Elder. That's another car that started right at the back, Cameron Elder. So like Stuart Window, who came through to 16th, well, Cameron Elder's done a little bit better. He's come through to 15th position. So that's great to see. And Neil Stringfellow I could just see going through there in the 74 car. So Class B at the moment is being led by Dan Gibbs. And second within Class B is the 1-2-3 car of Matt Creed. And Neil Stringfellow third in 74, as we watch one of the Fiestas, which is the 46 car of Leon Shepherd, being pursued by this battle. There's Elder then, number 7, trying to go around the outside of Langton. I think this will be for 14th position as he continues his progress up the order from a qualifying session that saw him only do 3 laps. But he said his fastest lap time on the first lap, which indicates that there was a problem that set in fairly early on.
No, he's done really well, and that's the Ron car that we saw being shuffled into position. There's Langton in the 60 Yoo-Hoo Clio.
Yeah, it's a good drives from Elder and Window here. Unfortunately, because the second race grid is based on the second fastest lap times, they're going to have to do it all again for race 2. And Marcus, looked like there's a bit of a flapping bonnet issue on the Integra there.
Yes, I could see that. Just in a straight line, you could see it just chirruping. Leading edge of the bonnet of the red, white and black Integra that's behind number 7 there. It's Cameron Elder. It's the Integra of Stuart Window, who has moved ahead of Langton.
Yeah, he has. So that puts him into 15th position now. So he made the majority of the places you'd expect in the first few laps, and he's been steadily working his way through the field since then. There you can see Matt Creed. He's second within Class B at the moment, ahead of one of the Class A cars, which is the Fiesta of Leon Shepherd. There's Jeff Connor in number 21, going wheel to wheel with Cameron Elder. So that's for 13th and 14th positions. Getting more and more difficult for these cars coming through from the back to make up ground now. Oh, and a lock up there as well for Elder.
You've got to be very, very brave to go inside there, and very committed, because the chances are if you get up the inside, you're going to miss the apex, or you get the apex and then miss the exit, and then lose the position again, and all that speed up to Abbey.
Leon Shepherd in the 46 car going ahead of Matt Creed. That's for 11th position overall, but Creed going to fight back on the exit. Creed in the Class B car, Shepherd in the Class A car. And they're still
they've got Jeff Connor behind, haven't they, in 21?
And these two guys who have burned from the stern, Elder and Window as well. So they've only got less than 2.5 minutes now to see if they can find the way through.
Yeah, it's just about possible that one of them might end up in the top 10 at this rate, which would be impressive.
Yep. Yes, with that closely bunched pack of cars, it's not impossible.
Does it gain them ground this afternoon, or is it second quickest laps in quali?
It's the second fastest lap times in quali.
So in the second race.
They'll have an entertaining race day though, because of their poor qualifying. Probably more entertaining than they would have liked it to have been. I don't think either driver is one that has any sort of illusions over championship contention. So maybe just an enjoyable couple of races will be a good day out at Silverstone. They're trying to sort that out still as they head down, almost going 3 wide. Into the left-hander. Stuart Window is the one that's making a move. He's gone past 2 Clios there between Stowe and the Vale. So where's that going to put him now? Just to see as they come across the line. Only about a minute or so of the race left to go, and they'll be over the timing line now. And it looks like Stuart Window up to 13th and Elder up to 12th place at the moment. So some of these other cars being shuffled back a little bit. Stephen Langton and Jeff Connor in their different mark of Clio, different generation of Clio.
So that sort of Group C or later prototype style air intake in the roof.
Absolutely. Still out front, by the way, Philip Wright leading by 1.87 seconds from Chris Smith in second place as we approach the end of this race. Stephen Langton's car looks as if it has a bit of damage on the passenger door there, where that's accrued, not quite certain. So there's Leon Shepherd, and he's got behind him Cameron Elder now. There though is our race leader Philip Wright. He's on to his final lap of the race, because time ticking down. He's still got this lead over Alistair Camp, but now in the traffic...
It's diminishing, isn't it?
It is diminishing, but they're on the final lap here. And I guess the only problem that might occur now is if Philip Wright trips over a back marker completely.
Yeah, Camp's taken half a second out of leader Philip Wright on that lap. 63 Wright still leads from 45 Camp, but it's down to 1.36 seconds, and they're working their way down the hangar straight. There's traffic all around, one or two drivers very nicely staying out of the way, but there's traffic ahead of them. It's the 84 that they're coming up to, which was one of the cars from well down the grid. That was the reserve driver, wasn't it?
Yeah, Andrew Elliott.
Yeah.
So they're going to lap him as they go into the final couple of corners. Then it's Philip Wright then who is going to make it 2 wins.
He locked an inside wheel going in.
He did. I don't think it's done enough to bring Alistair Camp back into the equation, although the gap has come right down to less than a second on this final lap. So there's the checkered flag. Second win of the season in the PBS Brakes Hot Hatch Championship for number 63 Philip Wright by just under 3/4 of a second in the end from Alistair Camp, number 45. And then third across the line now goes the number 18 Civic of Chris Smith. Fourth is going to be number 36 Ryan Polly, who made up 3 places on the opening lap. Fifth is the 65 car of Ben Morton. That's the Integra, who got ahead of the 2 car of Jamie Martin towards the end. Issue with the transponder on his car. Rest of the field coming through. We should have Dan Gibbs in the Golf over the line. He's already been over the line, in fact, to win Class B. And then this huge group of mostly Class B cars comes through, including those 2 that came through from the back. So Cameron Alter got to 12th in the end in number 7, and Stuart Window to 13th. And if we stick with this shot, we should see any moment now the Class C winner coming through. Well, that's one of the... I think that's Adam Reed, who's going to be 3rd in Class C. There's the Class C winner, though. Number 1, David Drinkwater, back to winning ways. He's had a couple of races where he's not won the class this season, but Drinkwater adds another victory to his tally. I think that is number 6 this season, probably, for him. And he beats Olivia Martin within that class.
68 Dan Gibbs did a fantastic job winning Class B. He's 7th in the class going into this race. He had one class win earlier in the season in round 3, but he's had a bit of a fallow period, and now he's come through and seized a 2nd one.
No, that's a great job from Dan Gibbs in that Golf. I'm sure he'll be very pleased with that. And we can see, though, Philip Wright heading down the pit lane, getting the applause of the marshals. He gives them a wave back as well as he heads down the pit lane. There you can see spectators, family and friends watching on from the wing paddock. Let's have a look at the results. Philip Wright it was that took the win, number 63 by 3/4 of a second from number 45 Alistair Camp. 3rd to number 18 Chris Smith, then Ryan Polly 4th, number 36, then Ben Morton 65, Jamie Martin number 2 was in 6th, then Jack Ashton, Dan Gibbs, Chris McCloy and Martin Ward round out the top 10. Dan Gibbs, as I say, winning Class B. Then Leon Shepherd was 11th, Cameron Elder, Stuart Window, both of those coming through from the back to 12th and 13th, Jeff Connor 14th, Stephen Langton 15th, then 2nd, 3rd and 4th in Class B altogether. That was Matt Creed, Neil Stringfellow, and the 88 car was driven by Tom Hall, Paul Jarvis, and Class C winner David Drinkwater rounded out the top 20. Then Olivia Martin, 2nd within Class C. Looking further back, Adam Reed, 23rd, was 3rd in Class C. Some of the other Class B drivers mixed in there as well. Alex Harris, Daniel Cogswell, Andrew Ashton. And as we look on to the final screen, Emilio Lucchesa, William Hornsey, Alex Martin, and Chris Woods, one of the drivers that we lost there. I think Andrew Elliott also a couple of laps down in the end. But it was a victory for Philip Wright in round number 8 of the PBS Brakes Hot Hatch Championship. There he is, and hopefully any moment now we'll be able to get down to talk to him down in the pit lane. We can go down now to speak to Josh Barrett with Phil.
Yeah. So we're down here in the pit lane with our race winner Phil Wright. Well done, Phil. I'll give you your garland there. And a really good start there to get into the lead.
Yeah, it's one of the best starts we've had in a long while. We've always struggled getting this thing off the line, but we've had a lot of problems with it. I was working on it till 12:15 last night, and then at 3:30 to get here, but she's done me proud today.
Talk us through what it's like having Ali trying to chase you down.
Well, there's not I raced against Ali for a long while, and there's not many people like Ali who drive consistently as he does, and he didn't put a foot wrong and kept us honest the whole race. That was yeah, enjoyable.
It's been a real battle between the two of you all season.
Yeah, he's driven phenomenally. He hasn't, like I say, he hasn't put a foot wrong all season, and just proves how well we've done to actually get in front of him. So
I understand you've got a pretty busy weekend as well.
Yeah, we're off to Anglesey tomorrow in the other car, so a good friend taking this one home for us tonight, and then travel over Anglesey overnight.
So far it's so good, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't ask for any more.
Well done, Phil, then. Phil Wright, our overall and Class A winner. Class B winner was Dan Gibbs in the Volkswagen Golf. Dan, well done, Class B win for you. And a long way up the overall order as well.
Yes, yeah, it went well. What can I say?
I think Matt qualified ahead of you in the Renault, but obviously found a way past him.
Yeah, I managed to get past him on the start line, and then he got caught up in the traffic behind, and another car crept through, and that just helped me out, really. I got a bit of a clear track behind us then. I concentrated on the lines, and that was it. Getting used to the car. Happy days.
Obviously, you run in Class C last year, so tell us what you've done to the car since.
I didn't quite win the Class Cs, but I was in the Mark IIs. It's a completely different car. It's a borrowed car. It's a race car compared to a production car, and that's what the difference is. It's amazing.
So it's a totally different car, this one, is it?
Yeah. It's a team's car. It's not my car, so I've got to treat it with a bit of care, unlike what happened at Donington. No, it's going well.
Well done on the win. And then our Class C winners behind me, David. You managed to break away, I think, from the others there.
Yeah, the tow's really important here. So I think it was Paul was in front, wasn't it? Paul Jarvis was in front, so I managed to just stick on the back of him, which is great because that helps you. You get such a big tow here, it makes a real difference.
A nice way to bounce back after Brands Hatch's issues.
Yeah, a couple of issues at Brands Hatch. We've had a few problems with the car and a few bits, but that's all been sorted. And we had a nice gap between then and now, I think a good 7 weeks, so we've had plenty of time to sort it out. So she seems to be running well.
Done some interesting things since then as well, really, haven't you?
Yeah, a few bits, this and that. Yeah, it's been good fun. Go out to France next week, so I'm looking forward to that. So I don't have to quarantine when I get back now, which is great.
And now looking forward to the race later. Lots of talk about rain. Is that something you'd like to see?
Yeah, I'd love it. Mega. I love driving these cars in the rain. They require a bit more work than the front wheel drives, obviously, but they are good fun in the wet. I mean, they've done well in the Birkett in the wet before over the years, so should be good.
Well done, David. It sounds like already our next cars are heading out on track. We'll head back up to Ian.